Good afternoon. On behalf of the Shrine Trustees, I welcome you to the Shrine of Remembrance. This place was built by the people of Victoria to commemorate those men and women lost in World War I. Since then, we have gathered here to remember those that we have lost and the service and courage of those who continue to serve. We commemorate now not only World War I, but all conflicts and the loss of people we have in overseas operations and in operations in Australia. I'd like to begin by acknowledgement of country. We embrace the diversity of our community and acknowledge the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. As the traditional custodians of the lands on which we honour Australian Defence Force service and sacrifice, we pay our respects to elders past and present. And I'll now hand over to Ken Scott.
So good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody here, members of the Catalina Branch of the Air Force Association, descendants of Catalina veterans, and all the guests who are here to witness the service as well. We welcome you as well. I'd now like to explain what the significance of the occasion today. We're remembering that all those who operated on Catalina flying boats. We're here to honour and remember them and to think of the sacrifice of all those who served. Catalina's operated throughout the South Pacific and the Southeast Asia, from the start of the Pacific conflict right through to the very end. They were used on a number of missions, in surveillance, in bombing, air-sea rescue of downed aircrew and other people who need to be rescued behind enemy lines, and also in laying mines. Some of the mine-laying missions that Catalina's participated on have become quite famous. 24 Catalinas flew from Australia all the way up to Manila Harbour and laid mines in there. And then further operations were up again in the harbour of Hong Kong Harbour and other ports around the Chinese coast. And they were the longest bombing missions that were done by any forces in the entire Second World War. At the end of the war, after the conflict finished, which is now 78 years ago, in August 1945, Catalinas were used to repatriate a lot of the prisoners of war from around Southeast Asia. It was one of the quickest ways to get them back to Australia and to some support and medical assistance. During the Pacific War, there were over 1,100 men and women from the Royal Australian Air Force who lost their lives. 320 of those were Catalina aircrew. So today we're here to remember and to thank them and to remember all those who've served on Catalinas, whether they were aircrew or maintenance or support people. The Guard will now mount. So I'll invite two of our Catalina Branch members, Jenny and Bev, to come up and lay the wreath now. Yeah. Yeah. Jenny and Bev, both of their fathers served on the land. Yeah.
I'd like to read a poem by John McGee Jr. to our airmen and airwomen. Up the long delirious burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace where never a lark or ever eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Thank you, Jane.
If I could ask all those who are able to please stand. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. You may be seated, but I am going to invite you next for anybody who'd like to lay a poppy in one of the urns provided to come forward and lay their urn. Lay their poppy, my apology.
So once again, I'd like to thank you all for your attendance today for our special service for the Catalina Branch. Shrine Guard, dismount. Thank you, and that concludes our service.